Hi, boys and girls, Mrs. Gill here. I hope you are all okay, and I am missing you all lots. Today's story is called Once Upon and Ever After by Caroline Thornton. It's a fairy tale about a young prince who tries to rescue princesses from well-known fairy tale stories. However, he is too late. They escape and rescue themselves. At the end of the story, there is a dictionary of terms to explain any unfamiliar words. I hope you enjoy it. Once Upon and Ever After by Caroline Thornton. Once upon a time, begin the tales we're told, where life was just sublime and straw could spin to gold. They warned of poisoned fruits and trading cows for beans, of giant stalks and shoots and jealous wicked queens. But things began to change, new trails were set ablaze, some found it very strange and missed the ancient ways. Though everything he knew was turned upon its head, the prince's point of view has largely gone unsaid. His days of having fun, with nothing much to do, were over with and done upon the age of 2. From dawn and through to night, for long and lonely hours, the prince was taught to fight and climb the walls of towers. While children without quests were busy playing games, he entered dragons' nests and learned to dodge the flames. He thought the children's grass was greener than his own, but with a test to pass, he had no time to mourn. He'd heard a tale unfold of royalty confined inside a place so old, the undergrowth entwined, and so he ventured out upon his trusty steed without a hint of doubt. His efforts would succeed. Inside a shrouded lair, an ancient fort was found. A tangled rope of hair lay sprawled upon the ground. He made his way inside, but found the room was bare. He'd hoped to see his bride. Alas, no one was there. A golden braid was tied and wound around a drape. The princess hadn't cried. She'd made her own escape. He turned around to leave and scrambled down the braid. He couldn't quite believe the princess hadn't stayed. He pondered, turning back. He felt so very small when through the beaten track he spied a castle wall. He thought about a tale he'd heard of once before, a princess locked in jail beneath a castle floor. And now he stood outside, behind a thorny gate. He pushed the vines aside, prepared to meet his fate. He leaned against the door and crept in through the gap, unsure what lay in store and wary of a trap. The prince approached the room, afraid to make a sound. He stumbled through the gloom and quickly glanced around. An ancient mirror stood against the farthest wall. The orb of glass and wood began to sweetly call. "You're late," the mirror said. "The one you seek is gone. She slipped the guards and fled upon the break of dawn." The prince was shocked and dazed. He'd reached the final straw, for each of them was raised to follow ancient law. With destiny to fill, he wanted them to stay and simply wait until he came to save the day. But then he set aside his pride and what he thought he knew, to see another side and a different point of view. It wasn't very long before the prince had seen how very brave and strong each princess must have been. With daring confidence and boundless pep and zeal, they didn't need a prince or knight in shining steel. With battles fought and won, the world around them grew. Their journeys had begun to futures bright and new. He'd thought his role in life was firmly set in stone. The quest to find a wife was all the prince had known. But now he'd been set free to live the life he pleased, with all the world to see and every moment seized. The future lay ahead with many paths to take. No matter where they led, the choice was his to make. Accepting what's unknown, but holding on to laughter, the prince had found his own, happy ever after.